Hi, my name is Ron Layman. I'm from the Faux School in Frederick, Maryland. Today I'm going to show you a decorative plaster technique using products from a company called Firmolux. Today we're going to work with their Grasello and their Milano Gold. Let's get our tools, let's get our materials, and let's get started. So the first thing I've done today is base coated the surface or primed the surface with the primer, and I'm using micro primer from Firmolux. It's a water-based product, interior, exterior, cleans up with soap and water, and you can tint it with pigment, never paint. Now, I'm going to do a couple different things. I'm going to take the Grasello, which I've already taken the Grasello, and I've tinted it. Today I'm using a dry pigment called Colonial Burnt Umber. And if all goes well, which it seems to be going well, that's the color we have there. You see that? Real pretty. I have a feeling, I haven't stirred it quite enough yet. I need to stir it. Usually I'm going to stir it for about 15 minutes or put it in a machine, whip it up. But let's get our first coat on there and see what we got, okay? So we're going to take our, okay, let me back up. Grasello, sorry. Grasello is an interior, exterior, 100% pure lime-based plaster made in Italy. Tints with pigment, never paint. Must use proprietary pigments or oxide, I don't want to say oxide, but lime-stable pigments. We're getting to a whole different thing now. Lime-stable pigments are completely different than pigments. Pigments is a generic, broad term. Lime-stable means that when you put that pigment into the lime-based product, it's not going to have an adverse reaction and disappear, do something wonky, go a whole different direction. Lime-stable is very important. So, Pavon trowel, and again, base coat of the surface. What I'm going to do is put a coat on, base coat, 100% coverage. Let's see what we get going here. Alright, I'm going to pull it pretty tight. This is going to be our first layer, so it's not too big of a deal here, meaning if some of the primer shows through. You see that concentration of pigment right there? I knew I didn't stir it quite long enough, no big deal. After I do this, I'll go back and stir it a bit more, get it ready. So, again, when I do this technique, this is for the traditional way. My trowel is almost flat. It slides off the trowel, and then I put it up on the edge. So here, about 20%, it slides off. Lift it up to like 35, 40 degree angle, and then kind of scrape off my excess. All right? Quite simple. It is really quite simple. Don't overthink it. It's not that complicated. Don't overcomplicate a lot of it. Now the thing about lime is that what you see is not what you get, meaning that this color will dry about 30 to 40% lighter. Some colors actually dry up to 50% lighter, so keep that in mind when you're making your samples. Always make dry samples. Okay, there you go. We're going to let this dry 100%, come back and do our second step in the application, so we'll see in a little bit. Alright, as you can see, it's completely dried. It's dried considerably lighter. Let's get into our plaster here and put the next coat on. Alright, so it's the same color, same material, nothing's really going to change here. We're just going to start backfilling, or not backfilling, I'm sorry, pulling it tighter as we do our application. So let's put it on. Whoops, almost got away from me. That wouldn't have been good. You'll start to see all the depth from the Grasello. It's a kind of, I don't want to say semi-transparent. What it does is, as it rides across the surface, it fills in the lower spots, and then it scrapes more off the higher areas. And that's where you start to get all that variation. That's why if you just pile it on like skimming a wall with, say, joint compound or skimming plaster, you're not going to notice anything because it becomes very monochromatic. I'm sorry, opaque. Yeah, you see how this is, it's a higher spot, there's a lower spot. So right now, where the areas where it's darker, it's lower, even though it's hard to believe because it's a very smooth finish. But that's what you're seeing. The darker spots are in those lower recessed areas. The thinner spots, or the lighter spots right now, are in the highs. Now, that's going to be, well, kind of it for the moment. And before it completely dries, I'm going to clean my trowel. And I'm going to take their micro gold. This is straight out of the bucket. Alright? Comes gold. It's just called micro gold. You can tint it with pigment if you want, but I just want to use the gold straight out. Same technique. I'm going over top of it, obviously. Pulling it very tight. Now this product, this micro gold, will burnish like a plaster. Well, it is a plaster. See, it dries a little lighter. So we put it on the same way. Just don't pile it on. That's not what we're trying to do here. But what I'm going to do, well, you're going to see what I'm going to do. I'm only using my second hand because my wrist is a little tired. It's been a long week. Okay, clean this off. Then we get back into that first color. So I can sandwich that gold in between these browns. I just want the hints of it to pop through. I don't want it to be super strong like that. That's all there is to this step. So I'm doing it wet into wet because it's helping these colors blend. That's the whole object here. Now remember, this brown is going to dry a lot lighter than what we see. Remember that. So what we see is not what we're going to get at the moment. That's why you have to make those dry samples. And the gold will dry lighter as well. So let's let this dry. Come back in a little bit and see what we have here. Okay, we're clearly dry, ready to move on to the third or to the final layer, which will be our burnish coat. That's when we put a thin, final, real tight layer on there so we can burnish it, compressing it to make it shine and get that mirror-like finish that we're going for. So we'll get a little material out of here. Hair in that material. Let's get that out of the way. All right. That piece of junk in there. That's not good. See, this will also help push down that gold. We don't want to see a lot of it. We kind of just want it there. Meaning don't want it so strong and pronounced. Okay, let's get some more material. thin, tight layers are what we're going for. A little bit more. Where are we here? And I'm scraping the bottom of the bucket because it'll make up enough. Always make up more than what you think you're going to need. There we go, completely covered. So while we're still in that damp or humid state, clean the trowel. And with a very light pressure, well, I'm not going to say very light, but you want a super clean blade. Okay, we're going to compress the Grasello and get that luster that we always look for. So you'll know when it's ready because the trowel will slide right across it. You won't feel any resistance. If you feel resistance, it's not ready. I'll hit it just from a couple different directions. So obviously I went right to left. Now I'm going top to bottom. I might come back and hit it this way again, just slightly. Don't need to go crazy. Let's take a look, see what we have here. Okay, let's see. It's a little busy looking right now. Remember, the brown is still wet. The brown's going to dry. Excuse me, very light in color, but let's bring it in. Yeah, see that? Let's try it from this side. Remember, I have to look off the side so I can see how you're seeing things, so I apologize. Yeah, there you go. You can see me. Can you? Yeah, it's pretty much there. All right, we'll let this dry. Come back. And we'll put some wax on it, and that'll be the end of it. See you in a bit. Okay, so I started to peel the tape off the top. I really like the way it looks, but I decided, you know what, let's clean it up. Get the dirty tape off of there, meaning because it had plaster on the edges. I'm going to take the clear wax, this is the spatula wax, and I'm going to put a thin tight coat on. I figured let's show you both options. See how it goes in there, makes it so much darker, it instantly hydrates that plaster, but it will dry a little bit lighter, but it will make it slightly darker. When I do my wax, again, the trowel is almost flat, and I lift it up on the edge and scrape off the excess. That's all there is to it. Put the lid back on the wax. See how soft and nice this is up here, very natural. And yeah, it's pretty much ready to go. It's a little warm here today, so the wax will set up pretty fast. Now the wax will dry a little bit lighter, but not much. What we see here is pretty much what we're going to get. These darker spots on the outer edges, is what it is. I mean, not is what it is, it's just not dry enough yet, but this in the middle is pretty dry. And what I'm saying is the reason this is still a little wetter out here, or damp, is because that's where the tape is. So the wax went on a little bit thicker out there because that tape had that buildup. Let's get this tape out of here and see what we have. But yeah, see the difference? Total night and day. Wow, look at that difference. Holy cow. So let me bring it in. But see, with the wax, it's very strong and very pronounced. It's very busy. Without the wax, look how soft it is. Okay, but look, you can still see your face. Still see my reflection in there. Where are we? There we go. See that one and that one. A little bit more with the wax, is a little shinier, but there you have it. It's Grasello, along with the, Milano Gold from Firmalux Plasters. But there you have it. I like that one a lot. But this way you can always show somebody the difference. It'll dry down about this. This will lighten up a little bit, match this, but this is still a lot darker than this. But this is what I was going for, a nice, soft, subtle look with hints of gold underneath. Okay, there you have it. Fun with some plaster. My name is Ron Layman. I'm from the Faux School in Frederick, Maryland, where I teach decorative painting workshops and complete commission products for clients all around the world. Well, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.